You're listening to Pointing Pointers, the Point to Point podcast. Hello, welcome to Pointing Pointers, episode 14. He's Sam Davies-Thomas, I'm Ben Atkins, and joining us tonight, just to spice things up, is Shirley Anderson-Jolag. How you doing, Shirley?
Good, thanks for having me. Exciting.
The pleasure is all ours. Thank you for having us along to Tatts at Cheltenham on Saturday. That was good fun. Chatting away Sam, they say never to meet your heroes, but Vanessa Ryle got to meet you on Saturday. How did that go for her, do you think?
I would say she was proud as punch, I'd say. It's a bit of a day waiting for her, and she managed to do it, so she'd be very, very happy, I'm sure.
She wouldn't be one to wait, so yeah, no, you must have made a good impression.
Well, speaking of waiting, Shirley, he was actually quite late because he went to Greg's, and that is a true story.
I needed a new coat, so I went and got that, and then I went to Greg's. I was hungry.
Right. Wonder where we were going with that. I didn't think they started selling.
We actually have complimentary breakfast in our marquee. I'm not sure if you saw that.
I had that as well.
Oh,
if he was on time, Shirley, he would have seen that, but he didn't because he was buying a coat from Greg's. So, let's start at Cheltenham, mate. Why not? So Panjandrum was the only British pointing graduate to sell. It was the only one that you were selling, Shirley, but sold quite nicely in the end. I'm assuming everyone involved was pretty happy. Your pal Gordon, Tom and Gina.
Yeah, it was nice to see, and what's great is just seeing the Irish trainers really get behind it. In particular, Gordon Elliott and Jigginstown. I don't think there's an owner yet for this horse. There wasn't anyway at the beginning of the week, so it'd be interesting to see if Jigginstown maybe take him on as well, because it would be great, because like they're having like 100% success rate with their two British pointers so far. So
of course, because Touch Me Not and Calypso Chance both all right.
Yeah, they're both Jigginstown horses, which is fantastic, and they won so close together. Obviously, it took Touch Me Not a bit more time, but he was he's a very different animal to Calypso Chance. He's a massive, big scopy horse. So now that he's filled out and turned into the animal he is, to win a grade 2 like that, and then to place and second in a grade 1, be exciting to see what happens next. And then Calypso Chance, is a really cool horse that is heading straight to the festival by the looks of it. I don't know I know there was entries this weekend, but I think he's going for the bumper. So that's a nice one to have. Also flying the flag for British pointing too.
Very exciting, yeah, like you say, and from two different producers.
Exactly.
In fact, GB Pointers did a very good interview with Gordon.
Yep.
On Saturday, and we can play that out now.
Yeah, we've been lucky over the last couple of years with the English point pointers. Obviously, Touch Me Not came from Tom and Gina, and they recommended it to us on the day. I think he fell at the last same day. He's been a nice horse. He won his beginner's chase well. He jumps very, very well. He went very well in Sandown and he grade 1. He's also looking forward. He's in the Irish Arca and in the Arca in Cheltenham. But I imagine he'll go to the Irish Arca and see where we are then. But a lucky horse, and it's great value from Tatts.
Yeah, no, exactly. And Calypso Chance, current favourite for the Champion Bumper as well. Strange here in the fact that Champion Bumper's actually headed up by 2 ex-English point-to-pointers in Calypso Chance, and no drama this end in the betting. Looks a lovely horse going forward. Won the last day under Patrick Mullins, and did it well, and it keeps surprising you.
Yeah, no, he looks a nice horse. Gorgeous looking horse by Master Marvel. He's very well bought for 85 grand. Jack Heel had the horse for now immaculate in the day. The horse looked amazing. He recommended it strongly to us. So yeah, again, going to Cheltenham Bumper, I think he's going there the big chance. He's in Dublin Racing Festival. Where we run him there or not, I don't know. But we're looking forward to Cheltenham. I think he's really suited race.
Yeah, no, exactly. Both horses were obviously bought from here at Tatts Cheltenham, and going forward, the English point-to-pointers seem to be getting a few more results and producing it some lovely young horses coming through the ranks.
Yeah, to be fair, the lads are buying the right type of horses that obviously we will try and buy. There's good value, I think there's definitely going to be value there. Obviously, we come to sale and look at all the horses, and if the right horses there, we take a chance.
Brilliant, cheers, thanks very much.
Thank you.
So, Sam, review of racing from the weekend. What have you spotted, big lad?
Oh, well, Saturday, Sheriff Hutton. Big lad. There's enough of that. Thank you very much. Another nice performance from another Tom and Gina horse, I thought, actually, on Saturday at Sheriff Hutton. Edith Pelham. Shirley, will that be coming your way?
Potentially, not yet, but the night is young for the February sale, so entries are only just opened really, so we shall see. Yeah,
good.
Be nice.
Nice performance. I thought what he did after the last, I thought was quite impressive. Beat a horse with the Easterby's quite nice. It was obviously fairly well fancied as well, so a nice Blue Brazil horse there to go to the sales or maybe sell privately beforehand. And then Hugh Edwards had another winner up there in the other maiden, Ideal de Tabert. Laura Richardson, actually, she only had 4 runners this season. She had 2 winners. So, yeah, there we are. Know the time of day. Hugh's obviously doing very well still. And, yeah, he seems to be riding quite well. Interesting to see how they can get on, especially with their horse that ran under rules. What's that horse called again?
Judo.
That's the one. Yeah, so I'm interested to see where they go with that as well. So that was Saturday, the rearranged, which seemed to get a few runners, to be honest. Having been rearranged, so it was nice to be able to get that on the board, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good track, and it's always massive turnout. And for the North in particular, it's a good place to be. It's one of the ones we love to sponsor up there too, but we didn't make it up there this week.
Yeah, it's a good fair track, isn't it? And you have to stay as well. So it's fairly testing on the young horses. So no, that was good. And then we moved to Sunday, where Gina, that Andrew's train ran on. They had a treble up there, fairly famous, going in, beating Laura Gold. Only just got the better of Laura Gold. The video's not up as of yet, but no, that was probably quite a good performance. And he obviously had a tougher task on his hands than when he did at the first meeting. And then she followed up with All Is True and Always Grooving, winning nicely as well. And the other horse I thought from Horse Heath to take a mention was Aramax, trained by Jenny Owen. Obviously a good horse of JP's back in the past. And 1-2 from 2 now. He's one of the novice riders there. On Sunday, he's probably a horse to see the right side of. Whether they go under rules with that or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, Keir Murphy, obviously, lad we followed last season, quite a big lad, but still a novice rider. So yeah, I think between him and Ryan Corcoran, they could be battling out for the novice title this season, I think.
Yeah, that Aramax actually came from our Tatts Online, which I thought, to one of those, obviously from the JP yard or whatever. I thought it was quite cool that it's gone 2 from 2 from, on about purchase.
Do you know what that cost on there?
I can remember. It wasn't expensive. Yeah. I'll remind myself, but it wasn't expensive at all.
Fine, I'd have thought. Only a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
But yeah, he won very easily on Sunday. So. But,
yeah, $5,000, 5,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
good value. And Sam, I noticed Bradley Gibbs got on the score sheet at Horse Heath, which he's not been firing out the blocks this season just yet. But I think when the wheels get turning, they'll have the ammunition, and clearly very talented rider, and very talented trainer.
Sorry, I'm talking over you again, aren't I? But I can't. I don't like to look at your face. But that horse actually had already had a run this season, so I was actually quite interested. The horse at Chadsley, to me, looked like they would improve for the run. And obviously, this horse was 3rd at Horse Heath, and obviously Julie bolted up at Horse Heath on Baron to beat Jasmine de Bourgs by 40 lengths. So yeah, fairly spruced up. So it'd be interesting to see his horses now, the ones that maybe had a run at Chadsley, going forward, if they improve a lot, because that one looked like it did.
So, Sam, Cocklebarrow Sunday, how's Dry Jan going for you, first of all, under those circumstances?
I was dry still, yeah, I did well, but the ground and the weather was horrendous. Awful. Cold as I've been, I reckon, on a point-to-point course. It was rotten. I managed to get Steph's photos for her for the PPRA, which was good.
That's a couple of boxes ticked, a couple of brownie points.
Pick that off the box, and that was won by Harvey Barfoot-Saunt on his 38th ride. That was his first winner. So yeah, he works down with Peter Bowen, and I actually had a chat with him earlier today about his winner and how he got to where he is today, and this is what he had to say. I'm now joined by Harvey Barfoot-Saunt, who on Sunday rode his first winner aboard Chinning Like a Villain. Harvey, that must have been a big relief to get your first winner off your back.
Yes, it was. Like you say, a big relief, and very pleased with the result, and more to come hopefully very soon.
Perfect. Yeah, you're 38th rider. You've obviously had a lot of experience. You're obviously in the right place. You're with Peter and Mikey Byrne. Is that right? How long have you been there for?
I came here back in June. I've just been working away here and finally starting to ride for them.
Brilliant. That's good. That's good. And obviously your dad, very a legend of the game, really, in point to pointing. Is he still riding himself?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's hoping that Did Martin will be his opener for the season.
Perfect. That's good. That's good. And go back to Sunday, Chilling Like a Villain. He's obviously trained with you guys down there. How did you get hold of him? And I actually knew the horse from when he was at Skelton's. Actually, he loves soft ground, which he got on Sunday, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Like you say, he was at Skelton's, and then they sent him to the sales, and I'm not quite sure what happened, but anyway, he turned up here, and I was sat in here with Peter the one night, and he said, well, what am I going to do with this horse? And I just jokingly said, well, I'll have it, I'll take it pointing. And he said, well, yeah.
Perfect. Got to try your luck sometimes, haven't you?
Yeah, he said, well, if you ride it out every day, then yeah, you can take it pointing.
Brilliant. That's nice. It's quite important to have a yard like that gives you that opportunity, isn't it? You must be very grateful to them.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful to them. They've also been a big help towards like fitness and training and that, because obviously Sean and James are massive fitness freaks. So
yeah, they're quite strong, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very strong. So I've been helped a lot in that way as well.
Brilliant. And obviously they come up through the pointer banks as well, so they obviously know all about it as well. And Mikey's been very successful between the flags. Where do you know any idea where you might run him next?
We were looking at possibly a Hunter Chase, maybe for Flass, maybe not.
Yeah.
Possibly Howick. It's nice and local, but no, we're not too sure yet. We'll see.
Nothing's local to the bones, is it?
Well, it's more local than most places.
Yeah, exactly. And any rides coming up that you know about yet?
I don't think this weekend, but definitely a couple next weekend. Yeah.
Perfect. Well done on Sunday. I was there actually watching you give it a nice patient ride, and on that ground it was very sensible. So no, you deserve that, and well done on your first winner. And good luck for the rest of the season.
All right, thank you very much.
No worries.
So unfortunately, again, we've had a meeting fall victim to a cancellation. Well, I shouldn't say cancellation. We're getting big trouble for that, Sam. It's been rescheduled. Chipley was called off last minute. And look, there was a crash on the M5. Shirley, you live down there. Pretty horrendous conditions by all accounts on the weekend.
Yeah, we're not blessed with the weather in the southwest at the minute. And it just doesn't seem to be getting much better. It's pretty grim. Because you look Shepton Way with where Paul Nichols is, and that's completely underwater. My farm is more towards like Wincanton Yeovil Way, and again underwater. So you can imagine in that part of the world where Chipley is even worse. So it's just we're just not blessed. We just need a bit more dry Jan.
Yes. Take a leaf out of Sam's book. And to be fair, Shirley, I take the Michael out of Sam constantly, as is only fair. But I have been remarkably impressed with how steadfast he's been with dry Jan. And he's been vaping at the same time. And he's been absolutely awful to live with.
Ben, you live 4 hours away from me.
Feels like I do. He's still going out. It's a fair play. Just to confirm, Chipley rescheduled for the 8th of Feb, which is really good news for everyone involved. Entries still stand there.
Massive statement. You can't control the weather, can you? And
no.
When it comes down like that, it's pretty unprecedented. So I saw a couple of videos. It was pretty wet.
Yeah. And Exeter's off tomorrow, and then we're off on and then we've got Wincanton. By the looks, and they've got inspections. So down in the southwest, it's just not. We just need a few more weeks of something to to dry up would be nice. But
yeah, no, it was wet. As I say, Cockerbow was everywhere apart from the track was flooded. It was a mud bath, but it was good. The one thing I wanted to mention about Cockerbow going back was Ihan Dyer running the ladies. There's only 3 runners, 1 to 5 on, and he pulled up. He showed no show, and he was off the bridle with a circuit to go.
Wow.
I've spoken to Nicky Shepherd, and he seems fine. He's sound at home, so nothing's come to light as of yet. So, but they'll do some more checks on him and see, because that wasn't his showing. I don't think he's.
You love that horse, don't you?
I love that horse, mate. Yeah, it was sad. I nearly backed it 1-5 as well. That's how much I love it.
No, that is sad.
I was just going to have a 5 on it, but yeah, I didn't bother in the end. But no, Kelly Morgan, another winner with Shentry in the ladies, and then a double for Ellen Wiley. We need a nickname for her, to be honest.
Oh,
we can't say Classic Comley won the men's open, can we?
No. What's the surname?
Wiley. This is just have a think about it. Don't jump in your gun.
Wiley means kind of like stealthy and fox-like, doesn't it?
Is it?
You can be wily like a fox. It's like means cunning. So maybe we just call her Wiley Wiley. Double Wiley.
Double Wiley.
Double Wiley. Yeah, that's it. Double Wiley had a double. Yeah, beautiful. Done. Next.
Job done. Move on.
Right.
Anik.
Yeah.
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 Right, Anik. Okay. Nick Ortwood had a winner. Actually, this is quite a funny story, actually. It's not actually that funny if you don't know me, but I actually went to message Nick Ortwood to see if I can have a chat with him earlier today. And the last time I messaged him was in 2017, January 2017. So quite early on in the season back then. And I messaged him saying, "Hi, mate, I'm coming up north for a few rides at the weekend. Got one in the restricted, but it's got 11.7 and I can't do the weight. Can you ride it?" I should have known back then, 2017, when I couldn't do 11.7 in January, that there was not much hope for me, was there?
Oh, Sammy boy.
That's sad. But yeah, St. Calvados won the Open, 2x4 Open, won it quite nicely. Only 4 runners, but beat Joey, who's a good yardstick. And that was for Harry Whittington as well. So, and Maxwell obviously still owns it. So that was a good result for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And good to see Maxwell on a point-to-point course as well. Often found plying his trade under rules now. It's nice to see him back. We still never managed to get him on here. I think he said no a few times. I don't know if we even managed to get hold of his number so far. Shirley, you've got to be able to help us with this. You must have sold him a horse or two.
I'm sure I can help you, but for GDPR reasons, I shan't be passing the number on to yourself, Benjamin.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fair. Sam, is there anything else you want to talk about from the weekend, or shall we move on to some?
Just one more thing. Dundrum Wood needs to mention. He's had 22 starts now, and he had his 10th win between the flags. One being Hunter Chase.
It's fair game, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 for 22, and he's been second 7 times out of that. So yeah, quite impressive horse. Obviously, great horse for Shona Westrop and her niece, Martha Reeve. So yeah, really good for them. Yeah, he won again up there. A track he seems to love as well. So yeah, that's me. I'll
tell you what, Sam, considering you've been working today, I'm impressed with your homework. It's nothing short of remarkable.
I'm just obsessed with point.
And I'm sure, yeah, I know. And I'm sure that the listeners all agree. Not that you're obsessed with pointing, that'd be ridiculous that you've done your homework. So yeah, thanks for that. So Shirley, it'd be remiss of us to have you on and not sort of talk about sales in general and what's going on in the bloodstock market, and with a obviously a pointing lens. One question I've got, we'll start with the tricky one first.
Oh gosh.
So how do we, often, so you see it with the, particularly on the flat, I suppose, or with the Scepter sales or whatever, you see the top lots often get the headlines, and for obvious reasons, if you're a vendor, it's attractive to think that you can buy a yearling and then bring it back to the breeze up some quadruple or tenfold your money, but in a pointy context, how do we strike the balance between sort of promoting those big, sexy headline prices, but also sort of celebrating the good value lots that slip through and then go on and do great things as well? I mean, is that easy to do, or is it a non-starter?
No, I think, from the National Hunt point of view, and particularly for Cheltenham, we don't just focus on, the 400 grand Envoy Allens. We do look at the entire market and take the last sale, the January sale, in all the kind of advertising and the press releases. Once Mr. Vango had won, he was only 30,000 from, and that's still a lot of money. I know it's not nothing, but in the grand scheme of, selling these horses, it's 30 grand for a horse like him, who's now, he was a big raw horse when he won for Chris Barber. I mean, he won obviously impressively at Horse Heath at the time, but he was a big lad and needed to come into himself. And now, like, he looks to have a chance in the national. That's awesome to be able to buy a horse for that kind of money. And for Sarah Bradstock, it's fantastic. And the flagship, horse for me, which I love from our Tatts Cheltenham sales, is Tiger Roll. And like I play that card all the time. He was 80,000. There he is, big lad.
He's behind you.
He's 80,000. 80,000 pounds. Again, a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. I totally know that. But to win 2 Grand Nationals and be, a horse of a lifetime. So we do beat the drum on those horses too. But at the same time, you do have to, push your big flagship horses that do go and make that money, because I live in this sales bubble where, like, we're selling the dream, and when the dream happens, it's fantastic to see, specifically in the national hunt side of it, because a lot of these people are, farmers, working people who have, come into it, and it's life changing money for a lot of people. I mean, even 30 grand is massive to a team. I mean, the team who owned Mr. Vango I think they were a mixture of young people, so it wasn't, everyone got a nice little payday in that too. So I do see both sides of it, but for sure we are here to, we'll happily sing the house down about horses that aren't the 400 granders as well, because it's awesome to see them go on and do what they do. But
totally fair enough. And you're right, and what you're saying is, as much as there is balance in the things that you're trying to promote, those smaller headline figures and the bigger ones, there's also balance that for every man who buys one, there's or woman, of course.
Exactly.
There could be a man or a woman on the other side of the coin who's produced them, and for them it's the biggest news in the world that they bought this store for say let's say $5 grand and sold it for 50. And I take that. That's a fair answer. No, any comments on that, Sam, or are we just gonna let her have it? 1-0.
She's
So, one thing I'm interested in, obviously, as you know, I am breeding a few. On the whole,
little plug for Ben. Yeah.
Sam, believe me. Right. On the whole, are more mares making good prices, do you think, because of these incentives? I mean, the GBB thing has been a huge success, and there's more coming in. But do you see that?
Yeah, with the bonus scheme, it's definitely a help. And there's the mares races, and now the GBB plus the new one. Don't ask me to explain it because I still don't fully understand it myself. I'm totally honest, but it's going to be better, so that's good. But it's definitely an improvement. I mean, you take Just a Rose. She was obviously if you've got a lovely, well-bred filly who has a pedigree like that by the right sire, they are going to go and make the big money, because there is that future plans that they can go on, and she could be a fantastic racehorse and then go on be in fact like a superb broodmare. So I mean, there's been an increase. Is it completely on par yet? No, but it's definitely going in the right direction for sure.
You say the right sire there. Obviously, you mean in commercial terms. What? But putting that to the side, what's your favourite stallion?
Oh no.
Okay, give me your top 3 and a reason for one of them. That's fair, isn't it? You give me 3 stallions and a reason why you like one of them.
I love getaway fillies. I love a getaway filly. I just think they're just really hardy.
I've got in my head that a lot of them are chestnut. Is that rubbish?
That is rubbish.
That's Nathaniel's, isn't it? Sorry.
Ben, I've learned you've got a lot of things in your head, mate.
No, there's a lot of very big chestnut Nathaniels about, but for some reason I just feel like a lot of the getaway fillies I've seen have also been chestnut. But if that isn't true for you, Shirley.
It's been true for me, and I love a chestnut. A chestnut is my favourite. But Nathaniel, again, love Nathaniel. Obviously, Nathaniel's been quite lucky for me, so love the sire.
Oh, yeah.
And between probably Golden Horn again here or Okavango. Actually, I'm a big Okavango fan. I'm loving some of the stuff. So, yeah, so a real mix.
Right, me and Nick Pearce did a lovely bit of business. Sam, your mate Nick, we bought a mare in foal to Okavango who had an Okavango colt at foot, and he had the colt at weaning, and then I had the mare in foal. There's value to be had on these online sales, Shirley, even if they're with Thoroughbred. I've one thing I've been banging on about for ages, and is it odd that we're so size obsessed in terms of buying big strapping geldings that probably take a bit of time to come to hand and are harder to keep sound? Like, are you starting to see any pushback on that in the market, or is it still just size?
No, I think the market's definitely changing a bit, especially for the bumper form and things. You're seeing people are going towards more the athletic 16-1, type horse that with maybe a little bit less bone. The big old fashioned hunters are still obviously striking and selling well, and obviously winning the point to points well. But the market has changed. The French bred, you take the French market, it's a lighter, different build of an animal, and people are going down that route too. Or you take Blue Brazil, another sire I love. I know obviously the Tom and Gina's how do you say it?
Pandandrum. We're going for.
Yeah. Blue Brazil, and he was a big boy, wasn't he? So but usually Blue Brazil, they're kind of more compact, and
I think they're plain. I think a load of them are just really
they are plain,
ugly, to be honest.
But they're workhorses, which is fantastic. I didn't put him as my top 3 only because I usually can't afford them. So but they are the typical, like, look at Constitution Hill. He's not a massive big horse.
He's plain.
He's plain. Yeah, he is. He's a very average mover when you look at him in the walker. But the market has changed, definitely, for sure. Fashion has changed, I guess, with sires and size and everything else. So it's not just the big 17-2 monkfish,
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, hope for you yet, Sam. Hope for you yet. So, have you got any questions for Shirley, Sam, or shall we move on?
Questions as well. I'm just shocked to see the entries this weekend at Garthorpe. Shirley actually sponsored Tatts sponsor the 4 and 5 year old race at Maiden. I think people we're shooting ourselves in the foot, to be honest. When you've got a 4 and 5 year old race at Garthorpe, and then with 6 entries, 2 from Station Yard and 2 from G&T, so there's going to be 3 runners at most.
Yeah,
like you'd imagine. And then you've got 24 entries down at Melbourne St Andrew. I don't know why we don't get our heads together with the secretaries and whoever organises the fixtures, and maybe I think there's too many 4 and 5 year old races as it is for the amount of horses we've got. These horses need to be run against each other to be more competitive, but to have 2 of the same races on the same weekend for a limited amount of horses. If you didn't have Melbourne St Andrew, Garthorpe would have got all the entries, I'd imagine. Yeah. And you need to have one a weekend to start with. That's probably too many, to be honest. And it needs to be more competitive. And then, the horses in 3rd and 4th might make a bit of money as well if they get beat.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is madness to have only 6 entries. Yeah. A good track like Garthorpe.
Yeah, but right. So I agree for what it's worth. But let's just unpack it slightly. How Tom and Gina are going to enter 5, and Charlie and Fran aren't going to enter 5. So you need people to enter them against them. Now, if you've got a nice one to sell, say I'd produced a store. Unlikely, I realise, Sam. But if I bought a store and
got it there before me, thank you. Yeah,
if I wanted to get paid for it, am I going to run it at Garthorpe? Which is it's got its own unique challenges, as of course, similar to Larkill. It's not an easy ask for a horse first time out, which is, so you're going to get paid if it goes and wins well. Am I going to take Gina and Tom and Charlie and Fran on at Garthorpe?
Why not? If you beat them, you're going to make money.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've got to believe you're there to create a good horse. You're training a good horse.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting necessarily that people are running scared. What I'm saying is, how do you fix the problem? Like, who are we asking to fix
Have less races. So you've got to be against each other.
Right. I feel like I've mentioned that at some point before.
Yeah, I feel like I'm banging my head against that bloody wall, and it's only thin. I might go through it soon.
Don't you
down at Melbourne, you got Chris Barber's moved to Hereford. It's probably still closer for him to go to Melbourne, but you got Emma Summersby, you got Barber, you got Biddick's got one in there. Oh, that's run a few times, but there's horses in there. Even I see Mr. Kim Bailey's got one in there, Black Sam Bellamy, down at Melbourne. So yeah, it's frustrating for me really, but until the powers that be sort out the fixture list to make it more competitive, we'll still be banging. I'll be still going through that wall. So I won't bang the drum too much, but it does frustrate me. And I'll tell you what else frustrates me, that leaderboard. It's annoyed you for that long.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, go on.
And the leaderboard drives me mad. How hard can it be to update the leaderboard?
Yeah.
It really bugs me.
Yeah. I met Tiggy at the weekend.
Yeah. You just sort it out.
No, I didn't. No, unrelated. But what I was going to say was, when they did her job description, even though it's not strictly marketing, they should have written it as a top thing.
Ben, start that again. Your Wi-Fi, mate. You obviously haven't paid your bill.
What's that? Has it gone? It's been dropped.
Oh, back now.
Ooh.
Back now. You're very close. Go back to you met Tiggy. Go back to you met Tiggy at the weekend.
I heard you say you've not paid your bill. You are sat in a black room.
It's very no lucky-esque, yeah.
Yeah, very lucky-esque. So
I think you need to go back to that all cut out. Go back to where I met Tiggy at the weekend.
I went to the ROR lunch at the weekend. Thank you very much to James from Thoroughbred for the invite. A lovely occasion. Tiggy was there with Paul Miller.
That's actually twice you mentioned Thoroughbred. Well, if we got Shirley from Tatts on the podcast.
Mentioned them twice. It's only fair, isn't it? Well, fair's Sam. So it's a free market as much as you like Shirley, basically I saw Tiggy, which made me think when they did a job description. I mean, I'm not sure if we're allowed to just talk about people's job descriptions on a podcast, but we're doing it, so it's fine. They should have just put number 1, update leaderboard on the PPA website, and then everything else is just superfluous, really.
Doesn't really matter.
It's all we want, Sam, isn't it?
That's all I want. That's all I'm asking.
You must have a number. Go on, get in touch.
I'll message her. I'll tell her.
Thanks.
Going back to what the weekend, Milbourne St Andrew. Actually, there's an interesting lad riding at the weekend, Aaron Butterfield, who's got a good story behind him. But he's been out for the season, broke his forearm, put on a lot of weight. Looked probably a bit like myself, maybe a bit bigger. And then he's got back to riding weight. So I had a chat with him earlier. Real good story, and nice lad. And I spoke to him earlier, and this is what I had to say. I'm now joined by Aaron Butterfield. Aaron, how are you? Okay.
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you very much. Not too bad. So I just wanted to get you on really tonight and have a chat because you've got quite a good story, I think, and a good background to follow. So looking forward to. So you obviously trained some horses down the West Country, is that right?
That's very true. Yeah. I train 4 pointers out of Toomer Farm, just on the outskirts of Yeovil, in between Yeovil and Wincanton. Yeah.
Perfect. And how long have you been in point to point? Obviously, you've ridden point to point for quite a few years now.
Yeah. I had my first ride a couple of days after I turned 16, and that would have been
17th of November 2019. Would that be right?
That would be very true.
Jack by the Hedge.
Dunsmore or somewhere like that.
That's the one. Jack by the Hedge.
That's the one.
Good man. And perfect. So that was your first ride back then. Who are you working for back then?
Oh, I was with Johnny Farrelly back then.
Yeah.
And he trained out of Bath, and good old days.
Perfect. And then you were at Tizards for a bit as well. Was that right?
Yeah, I moved to Joe's probably in 2020 or something like that. I spent a good couple of seasons there, riding nice horses and being in a big yard, and some good opportunities. So it was very good, and I was very lucky.
Perfect. And then when did Footloose come along?
Oh, Footloose. He would have been just before that time because I had him when I went to Joe's. Yeah, so he wouldn't have been far away from that time.
Perfect. You've obviously ridden him. You've had 6 winners on him. Is that right?
I've had 6 winners on him. Yeah, I've been very lucky. He's been a very good old servant to us. Very lucky. And
you've always trained him yourself.
Yeah, always trained him myself. I brought him off of Harriet Brown. Previously, he had a little bit of form. We've seen him up for sale, and the story goes from there basically.
Perfect. So obviously, you've had lots of rides on him, some nice winners on him as well. So tell the listeners I was just really interested. I heard about your story, and I was just really interested about, you had a bit of time off. Start from the beginning of that kind of sort of time. Just tell us a bit more about, what you've kind of been through and where you are today.
Yeah. Not last season. Well, the summer of the season previous, I left Joe's, and I was sort of breaking in and riding out for various people, and I had a fall and fractured my forearm, and then from there, obviously not being able to exercise or anything, I put on loads of weight. The second week in August, I went up to 16 stone.
That was the second week in August last year, so 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had my first ride back on the 12th of January this year. And I'm now down to just under 11.5 stone and enjoying being back riding. Long old graph from August to now, but definitely paying off and rewarding now anyway.
Yeah, that's an amazing achievement, to be honest. That's, yeah, five stone, 5 and a bit stone you lost, so
yeah,
to ride again. So that's quite incredible. And you've got you say you've got 4 horses to train yourself now this season?
Yeah, 4 in, 4 very nice horses. Well, 3 nice horses and 1 racing pony anyway. So yeah, no, 3 very nice pointers and a nice racing pony to go to war with. Obviously, I've got the Weddington weight who is in at Millburn St Andrew on Sunday.
Yep.
I think I'd step back to 2.5 mile on good ground. Should see the best of her if she's come on from a run from Weybridge.
Yeah.
I've got obviously Footloose, who obviously been a very good old servant to us, and look forward to running him again. He needed his run the other day at Lark Hill, and same again really. Hopefully he comes on from the run, and I mean it looks quite a warm race, as all the level 2s and conditions races do. But hopefully he'll go well, and we'll see the better side of him again now.
Brilliant, well done. Well, yeah, all the best from all of us at Pointed Pointers. Yeah, incredible achievement. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the season with your horses, and yeah, going forward as well. Keep that weight off.
Thank you very much.
Top.
Will do.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Cheers, buddy. Bye-bye.
Great stuff. So, Sam, we have come to any other business. It's flown by. We must have been having fun, but you've already said your bit from any other business about the leaderboard. But so it just remains for me to say about some conditions race beef. So you might be able to shed some light on this. Let me read from Sarah Dawson's post on the forum. It's a very good post. Everyone should read it.
How's the forum going, Ben?
Yeah, good actually. Really good.
What's this group added me to it? It keeps pinging.
It's a group about the forum, mate, for people who are helping to try and manage it. I just thought you should observe the work of other people so that you can be grateful and perhaps buy them a pint at the Point to Point Awards.
Have you added me to that group?
Yeah, I've added you to that group. Yeah, look, you just can't have an easy ride, right? I'm sick of it. So there's a very good post here about the conditions races, and I think Sarah Dawson makes some very good points. However, she says, I'm sure I heard Ben say on Pointing Pointers not long ago that the conditions races were working. Just look at the Garthorpe and tell me you are right. Really? 3 question marks. Now, Sam, your memory's better than mine, unbelievably. Did I say that? Because I don't feel that that's true, and I don't think that I am cognizant of that being a thing. Did I ever say that?
I don't really remember. I don't really listen to you, so I'm probably not the right person to.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what I've had for dinner a lot of days, but I just don't think I would have said that. Anyway, if someone can find the episode, do let us know. I'd like to defend my position on it, but obviously I don't really have a position on it because I don't know what I said, and I don't think.
What's she getting at? Why does she say it's not working?
Well, we've got a bit of time, haven't we? Why not? We've got this far. Let me read it out. So Sarah Dawson says, firstly, let me say I'm not. Pardon?
Sarah Dawson.
She's a very influential breeder and owner in the Point to Point world, Sam. You should know better than that. So she says, firstly, let me say I'm not having a go at anyone who has entered a horse in conditions races. They are doing so within the rules. I'm also not writing this because I want a horse. I have a horse I want to benefit. However, we were told that the conditions race format would take a few years to level out before they achieve their goal. I argued that the current format would never achieve the desired goal, as a horse rated 20 to 30 pounds higher than its competition isn't going to shy away from a few extra pounds. Oh yes, they will, was the response I got. The first race at Garthorpe proves my point. The conditions race level 2 has a horse rated 125, won 2 opens last season. That's Premier Magic, by the way. These races, I thought, were not designed for these horses. I believe they're supposed to be to push open horses into opens and to allow those horses who struggle to make that grade a chance to be competitive. No wonder we struggle to introduce retain horse numbers. Anyone who thinks these conditions races are working and killing themselves, it is so frustrating to see that a few years on we have lost on the whole our members race and confined / adjacent races, and the very races that have supposedly replaced them are nothing more than disguised mixed opens. Even less opportunity for the lesser grade horse. I'm sure I heard Ben say on Pointing Pointers not long ago that the conditions race were working. Just look at Garthorpe and tell me you're right, really. I sincerely hope that those in charge are reconsidering the format of the condition races before it's too late. We must cater for everyone in our sport. I think we'll all agree with that. Sam?
Yeah, I can see what her point, with the conditions race with Premier Magic. And I actually just looked through there and I thought, well, he'd have entered in the conditions race, but he'd also entered in the men's open. And he hasn't. And if he'd have entered in the men's open, he'd have probably run in the men's open because it's probably an easier race to run in than the conditions race. So Bradley might be kicking himself he hasn't actually done that, to be honest. But I can see her point. Yeah, carrying 10 pounds more doesn't really stop him from running against horses like I'm Spellbound, although he got beat the last day. Not I'm Spellbound, Premier Magic. But yeah, I can see her point. She makes
so the mystery continues. So it wasn't you that said it either. And I don't think it was me. So just for the record, Sarah, if you're listening,
I reckon it was Posty.
Posty, yeah, let's blame Posty. He never listens, does he? Yeah, it was Charlie. Charlie, definitely Charlie. I heard him say it, in fact. So, Shirley, thanks a lot for coming on tonight. What are you doing over the next few weeks? What does the rest of January and the start of Feb hold for Shirley Anderson-Jolak?
Well, this week we have the Tattersall's Newmarket sale up here. So I'm actually auctioneering, so that's exciting. I've got 4 runs this week, which is great, Thursday and Friday.
Amazing.
And then just all roads lead now to obviously DRF this weekend, and then all roads lead to the Cheltenham February sale. And then the Cheltenham Festival is coming around rather quick. It's like 6 weeks or under 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
So it's flying. And then we obviously, ahead of that, the festival, we've got 2 4 and 5-year-old sponsored races with Charm Park and my original local one of Charlton Hawthorne.
Brilliant.
Charm Park produced a couple of...
No. So not? What's Touch Me Not? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And also Edmonds, which I can't remember.
Yes. And then Charlton Hawthorne had good old Salt Rock, who's now 2 from 2 over fences. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah, going great guns. Oh, well, it sounds fairly relentless, so wish you all the best with that. And
Is dry Jan carrying on to dry Feb?
well, Sam is the problem is really with the whole thing, right? I think, Sam, you should do moist Feb, where
Awful word.
That's an awful word.
Awful word.
I know, and I apologise for its use, but you get the idea. Damp February, okay, damp February. What Sam doesn't realise, Shirley, is that you don't have to either be dry or stood in torrential rain. There is like a middle ground, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sam.
Yeah,
damp January for you.
It's done me good, actually, yeah. Yeah, I think damp Feb.
Damp Feb.
Well, and torrential March.
Moist March.
Yeah.
Torrential March. Yeah, all right, build me up.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Right,
What
well.
about yourselves? You've asked me. What do you guys do now over the next few weeks?
Oh, well, thanks for asking, Shirley.
No worries.
Sam, you go first. It shouldn't take long. I'm playing tennis this week. Tennis next week. I'm pretending to be you. You go.
No, I'm not going. I wanted to go to Garthorpe, but I'm actually going to meet Johnny Bailey at the weekend. Go for lunch on Sunday.
Well, that should take 4 hours.
Yeah, that'll take a while. And actually, I had does Mike Drown listen to this podcast?
Maybe. Gardening business.
Aaron said to me earlier on the phone. He said, "Oh, does Mike Drown have something to do with that podcast?" I said, "Oh, he did, but Ben kicked him off. He was too boring." And yeah, so he was mentioned. So yeah, the old boys. I'm not doing too much. I'll try and go point in the week after next. 1st of when's that? 7th and 8th. Actually, I'm going to Germany. Actually, 7th and 8th. But no one wants to know that.
I wonder how many people have turned off at this point.
Ben, what are you doing?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Well, so I'm actually off to Larkhill. tomorrow to set up for the schooling trials pilot, which happens on Thursday.
Haven't told anyone about that.
Say it again.
Haven't told anyone about that. What's that?
I think we'll cover that next week, Sam, when it's gone off without a hitch, because when people are listening to this, it would have only happened yesterday. And, we don't know how it's going to go yet. So we'll cover that off next week. Then, I am, I've got the last of one of my events that has been running for 24 years on Friday night before we move venues. And I'm hunting Saturday, day off Sunday, and then God knows next week, frankly. So thanks for asking, Shirley. No one ever asks. Good day, Sam.
Who keeps getting text messages? It's highly annoying.
It's me.
I put mine on silent because
my son. He's asking for more FaceTime. He's asking for more screen time on Snapchat. So that's a no. Anyway, thank you both very much for your time, and I guess we'll all speak to you next week.
Great.
Bye, Shirley.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Shirley.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
You're listening to Pointing Pointers, the Point to Point podcast.